Mtn Harbour hostel. Stayed there last night, day 30, and now it's day 31 in the morning. We're heading inside in a moment for what is described as one of the best breakfasts on the AT. Pretty excited about it. There's a little goat down there. It's cool. Good morning, day 31. A mile or two out of Mtn Harbour hostel on Highway 19 East. Great hostel, fabulous breakfast. It surpassed your typical and good diner. It was like a really high-end fancy meal. And we just turned back after cresting a hill and felt sad when we saw more snow in the mountains. I'm hoping I don't see much more of that. It's supposed to be better weather ahead. It may mean slush, but we may have to take our medicine and be done with it. Hey guys, just a real quick apology for my video, day 28 through 30. I had it all set to go and load up to YouTube. I had a lot of great footage, or at least good footage to me. And so I had some technical difficulties, and for reasons yet unknown, many of my vids disappeared. And they disappeared out of my Power Director video too, and I started getting error messages. So I had to spend a few nighttime hours downloading a selection of videos from the cloud where I had backed things up to, and pieced that together. But I know the video shows like 25 minutes when there's really only like 12 minutes. And I think that's an artifact of maybe how long it was originally, and in my Power Director ignorance. So sorry for that. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Oh my gosh, the balds were the most beautiful I've ever seen in my life. It was just fabulous. And real happy with that hostel, the kindness of the owners, and the fabulous food this morning. Best breakfast so far. And talk later. There. Just past 400 miles. I think that's a nice milestone. This is on day 31. It's around 11:30 in the morning. Had a late start out of a wonderful hostel. Just kept eating. It's such a great breakfast. The other thing I'd say is the trail is so much nicer than what we've had recently. No snow. There's some snow in the hills, but no snow on the trails, no rivers of slush and mud, no super high-speed winds, no freezing rain, no all of that. I haven't regretted any day on the trail, but they've been hard ones. But today looks like a beauty, and this is just wonderful. 400 miles done. I guess around 1,800 to go, but I'm feeling good about it. Just passed a group of Boy Scouts out for a long hike and camping trip. Not the first. I think I've passed 4 or 5 of them. And since I started 31 days ago, it's always great to see Scouts out here learning outdoor skills, appreciating the outdoors. And of course, I'm from a scouting family. My son, Andy, is a Eagle Scout, just probably 2 or 3 years back, so lots of fond memories. And my wife still is a volunteer in Scouts. Thank you, Anna, but Scouts does nice things for our nation's youth, and I think it's a fantastic activity for young boys and men. Mountaineer Falls at mile 403, quite beautiful, and good source of water should you need it. But look at that. How nice. Hi there. Early afternoon. This may look pedestrian to many people, but it's really quite beautiful. I've been in the shade, really a deep green tunnel of rhododendrons. And the temperature is nice. I'm guessing it's in the high 50s, which is like beach weather for us hikers. You see a little bit of snow in the woods, but not much. And we picked a tent site out. It's still another 10 miles or so. And I'm going a little bit longer today than initially planned, because otherwise we'd have a 24+ mile hike tomorrow. We're trying to get it down to 22, and it's no real easy place to stop in between because there's all these warnings about aggressive bears and not to stop, not to camp. So pressing on. Very peaceful day of hiking. Soft trails filled with rhododendrons, ideal temperatures, bubbling brooks everywhere. Oh man, this is different kind of beauty than what we've experienced in the last few weeks, but at this point it's highly welcome, and it's really quite nice. I like it. Check this out. We're miles from any sort of road, but someone brought in and set up and installed a nice little bench to look out at this beautiful view. So how could I not take advantage? I'm going to sit here for a moment. Good morning. Day 32 starting. It's been a wonderful night. Day 31, night 31, at a stealth campsite. Shows up in Guthook, but not an AWOL. Has pipe water. It was beautiful. Dry, not too cold. It was fantastic. Probably the best day hiking yesterday, day 31. And sunny, mostly sunny, not too cold. The only day I remember that was sunny and at least 10 degrees above freezing. So today we're heading out up a steep trail, and we're heading into what I'd call the dark forest, populated by pictures of angry bears and AWOL, the AWOL guide. And we have to get beyond that because they say not to loiter in that area, don't camp, don't stop for food because there's some bears near Watauga Lake. So the first shelter is about mile, I think 21, but that's described poorly in Guthook. So we may try and get to a shelter beyond that at mile 24, or find a stealth spot along the way. But that's it. I'll talk to you later. I've come across a lot of evidence of significant forest fires since starting in Springer Mountain. And one of the things that's heartening is you can see here, in this case, Mount Laurels. Tops of the Mount Laurels were killed, but they come back from their roots, and there's a rhododendron, Catalba rhododendron. It's nice. Some of the trees die, some of them make it, but it's great to see the recuperative powers of the forest here. Another beautiful view. That's the thing that to me has been so striking about this particular through hike attempt, is just the endless magnificent views. You don't see this, or at least if you're from the Northeast, on an everyday basis. And just to see these mountains one after another going off into the distance and off into the clouds is really inspirational. Beautiful old building here. Standing seam galvanized roof. Still standing up after undoubtedly quite some time. I'd love to know about all the history of what went on in that place, and who built it, how they lived. Nice that they decorated the fields with narcissus to welcome spring. Very nice. I love it when people build things well and stand the test of time. Obviously it's not habitable, but it's still a beautiful reminder of good craftsmanship. Been hiking alongside a beautiful river for the last 20 minutes or so, and I believe it's the Cherokee National Forest, but it's down there. You can probably hear it, but it's really quite attractive. Now I'm heading into this kind of a gorge with beautiful rock formations on either side. I wonder if this was man-made or just evolved over the millennia, but it's pretty and beautiful. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I'm filming a lot, maybe too much, but check this out. This beautiful bridge over the river, and look up there. Isn't this something? Ooh-wee. Don't drop my phone, that'd be ugly. Oh, I almost did. Hold it tight. And wow. That'd be a great place for kayaking, maybe even tubing. But is that not attractive? Spin around slowly here without hopefully not falling off the bridge. And there goes the river. Wow. And this big rock formation here. Very nice. Very, very nice. These immense rock walls just continue. A little bit of a rock slide here. I'm glad I wasn't here when that came down. That'd have been scary, if not deadly. But yikes. Going okay. Well, we've just had a giant hike down to the river. There's Starbucks right there, and you can see these gigantic rock formations around us. And interestingly, there is a narrow trail. For my own safety's sake, I'm sending Starbucks ahead to make sure he doesn't fall to his death. But if he makes it, then that says the all clear and I'll follow. So, way to go, Starbucks. Hasn't drowned yet. Hey, it's day 32. It's March 28th, Wednesday, March 28th. My wife told me to start adding dates. So here you go. There's a lot of these signs. This is a sign for the shelter being closed because of aggressive bears in this area. And if you look down here, the whole trail is only open to AT hikers and policemen and forest rangers working official duties. I don't know for sure, but I think down there it's talked about orcs and other dangerous beasts being active in this area as well. So I hope I don't run into any of them, or if I do, from afar. But onward I press. I think I get about 10 or 12 more miles. This has been a killer to try and get through this area. I'm going to try and aim for like 24, 25 to get to a tent area. And I still have probably a dozen. And it is 2:30. Oh well. Pretty flower if you like such things. Here we go. Look at that. Nice, nice, nice. Well, it does look like I go over the dam. It's something. Very rugged looking terrain back here. And I'll peer over the edge and see what it has to offer. I wonder if no sign that this generates electricity, or at least to me. But boy, this is a rugged place, and this is one of those dams that will never collapse or fail. I hope. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Good morning from Van de Veter Shelter. It's about 6:45, I'm guessing, 6:30. That's the sun rising over a town near Watauga Lake, or the sun just starting to come through the clouds. Can't see me, that's just as well. We hiked about 22 miles yesterday to the Van de Veter Shelter. It's very difficult climbing. I think I've never been so worn out. My feet are kind of a mess. But we only have about, I think about 35 miles to Damascus, which is where we're going to take a zero. And it's just a milestone to make it to Damascus. Most people, what I understand, most people who make it to Damascus make it. And so feeling pretty good about that. Had a nice night. The last 2 days have been wonderful weather-wise. And I expect the same today. It's supposed to rain tonight, but who cares? So long as I can hike most of the day in the dry. So this is the beginning of day 33. Welcome. Good morning. Thursday, March 29th. Holy Thursday, I think, for the observant Christians. And during Holy Week, Easter just around the corner. Sorry for scratching. And it's day 33. been on the trail for about 2 hours. I was able to secure some water, which is great, because we were at the Vander Cedar, I could have that pronounced wrong, shelter. There was just, and along this whole ridgeline there, Watauga Lake, very slim water choices. But yesterday was a very hard day. I did 21.8 or miles, so close to 22 miles. Lots of elevation changes. My fingers, my toes felt like ground hamburger by the end of the day. Really worn out. I got to look for some new shoe options. I'm having some problems with my toes, just being compressed with the smaller than desired toe box on my Merrill Moab ventilators, which are otherwise fine, but I think I could really use a wider toe box. I may take a look at the Ultras in Damascus. Today trying to do about 20, and we'll see how it goes. Mostly about how my toes hold up. And then it's like mile 469 we'll be in Damascus, so if we do 20 today, then we'll only have to do like 10 or 15 on Friday to get into Damascus. It'd be great to get in there early. Can't wait to get a shower. I really had a pleasant day yesterday, great weather, but I don't think I've ever been so smelly in that tent. Everything is sticky, and sticky for me. Sweat, dried sweat, wet sweat, and can't wait to take a shower, get a haircut. I've never gone this long without shaving, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to get a short haircut, let this beard grow out so I'll look like one of Santa's elves. But we'll see. And get some resupply, take a 0 in Damascus. That'll be awesome. Enough for now, and check in later. Where is this trail going to lead me? What path to take in life? At least on the AT, it's spelled out pretty readily with white blazes and beautiful trails. Check this out. That's so nice. Nice. If I knew how to paint, I'd stop and do just that. Hi, good afternoon. 8:33, mile 448. I'm walking through this beautiful pasture land. It's quite nice. Probably have another 10 plus miles to go today. My toes are on fire. I can't wait. I gotta turn in these Merrill Moabs. Foot box is just too small for. I get a lot of wear and tear on the outside toes. And my feet are probably swollen a little bit, and the first half mile feels okay. And then after that it gets a little gnarly. But on a very positive note, for the third day in a row, the weather's been fabulous. Just fabulous. Just got a long sleeve shirt on. Many people are hiking in shorts. So it's great. Had a good night last night. Didn't rain. Tonight's supposed to rain, but I don't care if I'm in my tent. And yeah, and then hopefully tomorrow we get far enough today. If we go another 10 to 12 or 13, 14, then we'll have a pretty short hike. You know, say 12 to worst case 15 into Damascus. And wow, looking forward to it. Doing some resupply, washing my clothes. I would repel a bear. I smell so bad. And probably look for some new shoes. Either that or I'm going to have to go barefoot because this situation isn't working. But mostly grateful for fabulous weather. I have not seen any snow in the woods. Yesterday, did I see it? No yesterday and no today. So, I don't know, I'm being tempted to send back some of my winter gear, which I've done before and regretted, but I don't know. I gotta think spring, so I might send it back anyways and throw caution to the wind. I don't know if you can see it, but this tree is just starting to send up its sap, and it's covered with bugs, and unfortunately I just missed a couple of beautiful moths orange moths that, oh, there they are. There's one. Flew around. There's just flew around the tree. You can see them there. One side of their wings just look like dead leaves, and the other side are bright orange. And they're licking the sap. It's covered with flies and other small moths. Here's my favorite moth down there. Can you see him? Oh well. Well, we've had an ugly situation here. Just a lack of water the last 5 or 10 miles. And the shelter is like 2.5 ahead, and Guthook reports the one water source there to be a disaster. So I've been kind of scooping out of the mud ever so slowly. A little bit of water flow there, but it's pretty gross. Good for your houseplants, but not good for you. But my knock water, dirty water bag has worked great, of course, as has the Sawyer. I'm going to have to do a real good cleaning with the Sawyer once I get into Damascus, because it's got some abuse with some crap in there, but I'm glad I have it, because this for sure would leave me ill without it. Good morning, day 34. It's about 7:45 in the morning. This is the Abington Gap shelter. It's kind of a crummy shelter. Mice. I didn't stay there. I camped out along the hillside here. Poured rain last night, 2:30 in the morning. It was a major monsoon, and we did 22.7 miles yesterday, which is fantastic. And we're only 10 miles from Damascus. Starbucks and Choo Choo, my tramily, have both left a few minutes ago, so I'm behind them. And looking forward to taking 2 nights, one of which would be a 0 in Damascus, getting new shoes. My feet have been in pain, on fire. My toes have been burning. The toe box is too tight. But only 10 miles today. It's supposed to rain in about an hour again. I'll keep my raincoat on and hope it's not going to rain too hard. And look forward to some beer, or pizza, and relaxation. Damascus. Talk soon. Good morning from Damascus, Virginia. It's day 35. Yesterday on day 34, hiked 11 miles into Damascus and stayed at the Woodchuck Hostel, that little wooden building behind us with a tiny little space heaters where Starbucks and I stayed last night. It was colder than expected. We paid more than if we would have stayed in the house, which was heated by conventional means. But in our little outbuilding, it was 39 degrees this morning, and we were cold. So, but it's a kind of an eclectic place. There's a teepee that you can camp out at, but it's cold here. It's supposed to get up to, it's supposed to be high 50s, 60 today, so good weather today. And again, we'll take a 0 today and head off. So today, day 35 is Easter Sunday, March 31st, and tomorrow morning we'll set back off on the trail. Talk to you then.